It started like any other morning at the View's Manhattan studio. Nicolas Cage had arrived early for what was supposed to be a routine promo spot for his latest film. Despite his famously eccentric persona, Cage was calm, even charming backstage, chatting with crew, sipping coffee, and preparing for yet another stop on the publicity carousel. But Whoopi Goldberg, she was already having a day. According to multiple production sources, Whoopi had been unusually combative during the morning meeting, dismissing segments, snapping at junior staffers, and darkening noticeably after reviewing the notes for the Cage interview. Whatever was bubbling under the surface, it was about to erupt on live TV. As the show went live, co-hosts Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, and Sunny Hostin tried to carry on their usual pre-guest banter, but the energy was a broken bar off. Even the audience felt it. Then Whoopi delivered the introduction. "Our next guest is Nicolas Cage, here to talk about his new thriller," she said, but with a tone that longtime viewers would recognize instantly as trouble brewing. "But first, I think we need to have a real conversation." Cage stepped out with his trademark swagger, flashing that signature grin, fully expecting to talk about his process, the director, maybe drop a few quirky anecdotes. What he got instead was a verbal ambush. "Nicholas," Whoopi began, not even waiting for him to sit, "you've made over 100 movies, many of them straight to video, some of them just plain bad. Do you actually believe in every project? Or are you just taking the check and running?" The studio fell dead silent. Cage blinked. That intense focus behind his eyes began to stir. "Well, Whoopi," he replied, voice measured but surprised, "that's a rather harsh way to characterize my career. Every role I take, I give everything. The outcome may vary, but the commitment never does." But Whoopi wasn't having it. "Artistic integrity?" She scoffed. "You made a movie about stealing cars, gone in 60 seconds. You played yourself driving fast. Where's the art in that?" What followed was a slow-motion unraveling. Cage tried to remain composed, but Whoopi kept pressing, her tone cutting, her words personal. The rest of the panel sat frozen, a Joy Behar glancing nervously at producers, Sarah flipping through notes in panic, Sunny frozen with wide, horrified eyes. Then came the first real crack. "You're one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood," Whoopi said. "Meanwhile, actors of color struggle to get a fraction of those chances. How do you justify that?" Cage stiffened. "That's not fair," he said, his voice tightening. "I work hard. I audition. I don't take roles from anyone. I earn them." "Please," Whoopi sneered. "You took roles to pay off tax debt." "That's not art to its desperation." Bringing up his financial struggles crossed a line, and Cage knew it. "That's cruel," he whispered, his voice now low and dangerous. "That has nothing to do with the work I came here to discuss." But Whoopi went further, mocking the Wicker Man, referencing the infamous bees scene. "That wasn't a meme," Cage fired back, now fully animated. It was a surrealist meditation on masculine hysteria. The audience didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Cameras zoomed in. Producers were signaling frantically off stage. But Whoopi wasn't backing off. "Running around in a bear suit punching women?" she shot back. "Come on, Nicholas." What had started as aggressive interviewing had turned into character assassination. And Cage, long mocked, often underestimated, hit his breaking point. He stood up. "You want to talk about the Wicker Man? Let's talk." The bear suit represented primal rage, feminine mysticism, suppressed identity. "But you don't get that, because you reduce everything to punchlines." Whoopi stayed seated, arms crossed, but her words kept coming. "You know what your problem is, Nicholas. You think everything you do is genius. But it's not. It's ego. It's delusion." That word, a delusion, landed like a slap. "You want to call 30 years of my work a failure?" Cage barked, voice raw. "I've played characters that live in the public consciousness. I've taken risks no one else would. And you reduce it all to jokes." Still, Whoopi pushed. "You've been blacklisted, Nicholas. You're not doing indie films because you love them. You're doing them because nobody else will hire you." Cage looked like he'd been physically hit. "You're using gossip to destroy me," he said. "This isn't journalism. It's cruelty. This is accountability." Whoopi replied coldly. "This is bullying," Cage shot back. "And I don't have to take it." He began removing his mic. Joy tried to salvage things with a pivot to the new film. "Don't bother," Cage said. "This interview is over." As he walked toward the edge of the set, Whoopi muttered, "So now you storm off." "How professional." Cage turned one last time, voice now calm and haunting. "Somewhere in all this mess, there could have been a real conversation. About art, about legacy, about the industry. But you chose cruelty. And that says everything about you and nothing about me." And with that, Nicolas Cage walked off the View set. The co-hosts sat in stunned silence. The audience sat frozen. And television history had just been made.